What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I wanted to talk about credit cards in this video, specifically people paying their rent with their credit cards. And it's not anything where I'm like, oh, you can get 3%, 5% or anything like that. I'm not giving you any of those figures right now. I just want to tell you that people are struggling right now. If you haven't seen my stimulus content, make sure you check out my stimulus content. But people are struggling so much that they're putting their rent on credit cards more than ever before. So I wanted to dive into this detail here and maybe give you a better option, I guess, if you are doing that. And maybe it's not really a feasible option for some people, but we'll see how many people it does help out. So before I get started, make sure you hit that like button, also hit the subscribe button, and make sure you get your free stocks with Weevil down below and check out some of my credit card links if you're interested. Now, the reason why this video is such a thing, or why I wanted to talk about this, was because nobody should really be paying their rent with credit cards unless you get some sort of percentage back, right? That's what it's all about. It's about gaining 2% on your money, or saving 2% on your money there. But in this case, people are at the verge of being evicted. So they're starting to pay their money. They're starting to pay their rent with credit card money. And that shows that they're pretty much at their end when it comes to money. And it's not getting good from here. And once they start to build up this debt and max out credit cards, they can't do anything about it. Like this picture says it best: eviction equals death. That's what it's showing. And you have a bunch of people that are going to be evicted because they're paying their money on, or they're paying the rent on credit cards. So I have this article here. There's been as much as 70% increase from last year in people paying rent on credit cards. That is crazy. I wouldn't want to pay my rent on credit cards unless I'm getting some sort of percentage. If you're putting your rent payments on a credit card, that shows that you're really at the risk of eviction. That means you've run out of savings. You've probably run out of calls to family members to loan money. And that's 100% true. A lot of people are trying to just make ends meet, trying to get money for food, and trying to have a house so they can just, a roof over their head, really. I've been in that situation to where I've been struggling to have a roof over my head, and I understand what they're going through. At this moment, they could be going through months and months of this torture. You could have been in a very good situation, and then all of a sudden it was all taken away. Just like Maureens, who could be paying her rent on her credit card as well. Before the pandemic hit, she felt like she was hitting her stride at 29 years old, getting acting jobs, basically landing quick things in order to make money, and making good money at that. Being in Hollywood films, having appearances in Hollywood films is absolutely phenomenal. But then you get to the point to where this pandemic happened, people are struggling. You can't really go on any acting jobs, any auditions, because people aren't really doing anything right now. Movies aren't being shot. They're being shot now, but when it comes to the beginning of the pandemic through like the middle and, towards right now, you still have less jobs out there. And the only people that are really filming are, top A-list, B-list actors. So it's tough for a person like her to go out and get a job if you're someone that's familiar with small roles and not big roles. She states that it's been so long that she doesn't even cry about it anymore. And then she goes on to say that she had full meltdowns in the beginning months, to where she couldn't get a job. She was just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to pay my rent? And now she built up $10,000 worth of credit card debt. Now, this is just one example, and there are plenty of examples that are out there when it comes to people paying their rent on credit cards. $10,000 worth of credit card debt. That's huge. You know what you're going to have to do in order to make that up. Depending what your job is, depending how much money you make per week or per month, it's going to take so much in order to make that up. So for the government, and not to get into a stimulus spiel, but for the government not to give you anything to help you out in this situation is ridiculous. So all of these people that are paying rent on credit cards, is it a good thing that they're doing that? No, it's not a good thing. Is it their only option? Yes, it is their only option. Now, what are they doing when it comes to making minimum payments, because that's the only thing that they can do, right? Is make that minimum payment in order to get by for the next month, depending how much credit line you have. So if you have a large credit line, you can last for quite some time, depending what your actual rent is. For someone who lives in Los Angeles, I would imagine your rent is pretty high, and that would last you like a couple of months, 4 months, 5 months at $10,000 worth of credit card debt. Now, if you have a number of credit cards like I do, it would last you a pretty long time. Now, what's your better option? I feel like the better option is doing what you're doing. I mean, that's the only option that I see. There's a number of things that you could do. You could find a way to make more money online, but that takes a long time to establish. But credit cards, I would say if you're going to pay it on credit cards, find something that has 0% interest, so that while you're paying it for these 15 months, 12, 15, 18 months, whatever you could do, pay 0% interest. So open up a credit card before all this happens. If you feel like you're going to get to the point to where you have to pay on credit cards, pay on a 0% interest card, because that's really the only option that you have. And I hate that I can't give you a better option saying, hey, do this and you'll make thousands of dollars and it'll make up for your income. Well, that's not the case. You can start a YouTube channel. You can do affiliate marketing. You can find a way to start your own online business, I guess. But the problem is that it takes time to develop and time for you to get money. And that also takes time. That also takes money for you to put into that business. So it's really tough. My opinion would just be to open up a credit card with 0% interest for 15 to 18 months and go on about your days. Hopefully you can get enough of a credit line in order to push forward. Now, during this pandemic, it's getting tougher and tougher for people to do that. But what other option do you have, right? I feel like this is the only option. And yes, you're probably gonna have to pay 3%, 5%, whatever you're doing in order to pay your rent or mortgage is, on you. And also it's very difficult to do that when it comes to mortgage. You have to go through plastic. You can go through that and you can basically pay an extra 3%, but either way, you're paying your rent and paying your mortgage. So it's a little ridiculous what people have to go through, but I'm here with you. I understand where you are. I've been there as a kid, as a child, not being able to do anything. That was tough because I'm not able to make my own money. So it's all dependent on what my parents do. So I understand exactly where you're coming from. And I would say that you need to apply for a 0% interest card. Let me know if you have any other options for these people that are paying rent on credit cards, paying mortgage on credit cards. Because I don't want to see people struggle. I wish that I can help everybody out, but I can't. I wish that I can give people enough money to live, to get a roof over their head, to get food in their stomach, but I can't. I give as much as I possibly can to No Kid Hungry so that kids don't go hungry. But I really can't help out everybody. So that's what I wanted to talk about when it comes to credit card related content. Just try as hard as possible not to pay your rent and mortgage and your bills that you can't physically pay with a credit card. Just try and put those to the side and make some money in some form or fashion. Sell some things. But that's my video, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you check out some of the links down below. But I'm going to get out of here and I'll catch you guys in the next one.